I love breasts. Chicken breasts. And so whenever it goes on sale, we buy a whole bunch. For healthy-ish meat eaters, I can't think of a lot of cleaner proteins than skinless, boneless chicken breast. The problem with chicken breast is that it's hard to cook just right. Whoever's had the pleasure of eating a stringy, dry chicken breast knows what I'm talking about. I'm Dave from Not So Ancient Chinese Secrets, and I'm here to share with you our family's super easy, no-fail sous vide chicken breast recipe. We're gonna be cooking up all 18 chicken breasts and batch cooking the most tender, juiciest chicken breast you'll ever have. So how exactly are we gonna cook the best chicken breast? Well, with sous vide, we're gonna need to add 0 fat to it, so for the healthiest chicken breast that you can get. And bonus, whatever we don't eat tonight, we can freeze, and it keeps for up to 2 years in the freezer. So we have ready meals whenever you need it. To cook this much chicken breast, we need a big sous vide machine. And that's what I love about the Dork Food DSV. You can pretty much use any size vessel you want and any heat source, so I can cook all of this chicken breast at once. The first thing you want to do is fill your cooler with the hottest tap water that you can. After that, you want to plug the business end of your heat source, in this case, it's a 500 watt aquarium titanium heating bar, into the business end of your Dork Food DSV. And then we'll put that inside. And of course, you never want to forget to make sure that your thermometer on your DSV is submerged in the water. Now, a little tip here that I use, where'd it go? A night eyes twist tie here. And I just thread that through to make sure that, 1, my thermometer stays under that water, and then 2, use it as a strain relief, so when I close the lid, the pressure isn't entirely just on those 2 wires. Now set the temperature of your Dork Food to 135 degrees Fahrenheit. And if you're in a rush, you can start using a kettle, boil some water and pour it in and mix that with the hottest tap water that you have. And once you're at 135, you're ready for your meat. But before we add the meat, we gotta bag it. Now, conventional wisdom would say that you need to season your meat before you bag your meat in the process of sous viding. We're not gonna be conventional. We're gonna do a super easy hack because we find that seasoning, adds a little bit of flavor, but with chicken breast, because the result is so moist and so juicy, we're gonna show you a way that saves time and energy, and we can just get it from the pack into the bag, into the sous vide machine to cook as quickly as possible. So just open up the pack and put as many as you want for a meal into a bag. Not so ancient tip, make sure that you label the bags with not only the date and what it is, but also that it's cooked, so that you remember when it's out of the freezer, you don't need to cook it all the way through. You just need to warm it up and it's ready to eat. Another quick tip, the thicker the piece of meat, the longer it takes to cook. So if you're in a rush one day, you'll just want to flatten out some of the chicken breasts before you lock it in there, and your cooking times will be even faster. And just a note about the food saver bags themselves. If you're cooking for company, you might want to make a note of which side has the grid pattern and which side is clear. Because we're not going to be searing the chicken breast when it's done, you're going to see all those little grid marks and they'll be visible. So if you're going to serve without searing, use the smooth side of the bag on the surface that's going to show. Now that we've bagged all our breasts, we got to figure out the cooking time in our sous vide machine. And the 2 factors that matter are going to be the temperature, and we've already decided on 135 for the moistest meat, and also the thickness of the meat. So get out the calipers and start measuring your thickest piece of chicken breast. For us, it's 40 millimeters. And at 40 millimeters, I will calculate in my brain the pathogens will be reduced to 10,000 like 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. Now, for you, if you want to smash them all and make them thinner, it's gonna take less time, but you do wanna make sure that you do kill all the pathogens. The easiest way, use the wonderful iOS app. It's called the Sous Vide Toolbox. Another not so ancient tip, I picked up 2 of these cooking racks from the Sous Vide Supreme website. I didn't actually buy the Sous Vide Supreme, that's the big water bath, because I like the versatility of the Dork Food way better, but these are money. 2 of them fit inside the cooler perfectly, and what they do is allow you to make sure that there's water all the way around your meat so that it cooks evenly. So, the last step we need to do right now is just to put our bagged meat into the cooler. And I will show you the results after 3.5 hours of cooking. The one thing you want to do with the dork food in such a big mass of water is check every so often, especially when it's coming up to temperature, that it's not overshooting. Because the dork food doesn't have a built-in circulator for the water, it doesn't really get really even, and I find that it overshoots sometimes. So the very simple solution, a pair of chopsticks. And what you need to do, open it up. Ooh, my magic concoction. And stir it around to make sure you've got an even temperature inside. Our sous vide bath is finished cooking our chicken at 135, and it's time to eat, as well as quick chill the rest that we're not going to be eating tonight. Dave, why do we need to ice bath our food? Well, we've finished cooking and killing all the pathogens that could kill us in the sous vide bath. So if we actually slowly let it go down to freezing temperature, it would allow the bacteria to grow again. So we don't want that. Instead, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take our chicken out and put them in an ice bath for an hour. And this hour is going to get this chicken nice and cold. Now the proof is in the eating. So now we've got the chicken. If there's any juice left over, you want to save that because that's precious stuff. And you want to slice it, or you can also pull it apart. The last thing you want to do is season your meat. Because we didn't put any seasoning in the bag, we need to add some salt, just a pinch of salt, and some fresh ground pepper. For an extra moisture kick, if you want, you've got the jus coming out of the bag, and you can just drizzle that on a little bit on top, and that'll make it the moistest chicken breast that you've ever had. And that's all there is to it. Your choice of sliced or pulled. And now you can dress it up as much as you want, add salsa, add your sauces, put it in soups, put it in salads, or just eat it as is. Links are below at Not So Ancient Chinese Secrets. Thanks for watching, happy eating, stay hungry, and God bless.